Hello and welcome to the third topic in AP African American Studies. Today we're talking about population growth and ethnolinguistic diversity, topic 1.3. There are a couple of learning objectives, and the first one is to describe the causes of the Bantu expansion across the African continent. Population growth in Western and Central Africa led to a migration of people. The two groups that we're looking at specifically are the Nok and the Bantu people. Some common features in these societies included ironworking technology, which emerged among the Nok people of Nigeria around 500 BCE. There's evidence to suggest that they developed this technology independently, without influence from outside groups. Additionally, the terracotta pottery common among the Nok people is considered a technological innovation and is also a sign of a sedentary lifestyle, meaning that these people lived in one place rather than migrating or foraging. Their pottery includes sculptures of naturalistic animals and people with jewelry and elaborate hairstyles. Agricultural innovations in this region were significant, particularly among the Bantu people. They practiced slash-and-burn agriculture to grow cassava, which are types of roots, and yams, which are types of sweet potatoes. They used iron tools like hoes, axes, and sickles to make the farming easier. Other crops included banana and grains. The introduction of iron tools greatly increased agricultural productivity and supported larger populations. Here's an example of what a Nok village might have looked like. Population pressures around 1500 BCE, possibly due to climate change, led to migrations. Areas were becoming more arid, forcing people to seek new places to grow food. However, paleontologists and researchers sometimes believe that the Bantu expansion may have been more about the spread of language rather than the physical movement of people. Nevertheless, the expansion occurred over 2,000 years, from 1500 BCE to 500 CE. The Bantu migration took two different routes, one eastward and then southward, and then the other one southward. The Bantu are technically a linguistic group, and we can trace their movement because all the people in areas affected by the Bantu expansion have elements of Bantu in their languages. The other thing we see is the spread of the same agricultural technology that's evident across sub-Saharan Africa. The Bantu people also intermarried and mixed with existing communities, which can be seen in the genetic similarities among people in sub-Saharan Africa, extending up to the location of the Bantu people near southern Nigeria and northern Cameroon. The movement is also traced through pottery artifacts and linguistic differences through the continent. The spread of Bantu languages led to significant cultural exchange and technological diffusion across the continent. The next learning objective focuses on how the Bantu expansion affected the linguistic diversity of Western and Central Africa and the genetic heritage of African Americans. The linguistic diversity is evident in the map on the right, showing regions where people speak Bantu-derived languages. The expansion created about 500 new languages, and linguists have traced the variations to reconstruct what Bantu might have looked and sounded like before the migration. Examples of Bantu languages include Shona, spoken in Zimbabwe, and Xhosa in South Africa. The cultural diffusion during the Bantu expansion resulted in the integration of click consonants and other linguistic elements from existing languages in South Africa, creating a new language like Zulu and Xhosa, which are almost mutually intelligible. Swahili, spoken in East Africa, is another significant Bantu-derived language. It is still the primary or secondary language of about 88 million Africans, spoken in Tanzania, Kenya, and Mozambique. Swahili has about 15% of its vocabulary adopted from Arabic due to Indian Ocean trade. Swahili's use as a lingua franca in East Africa facilitated trade and communication across the diverse ethnic groups. Kikongo is spoken by about 7 million people in Central West Africa, around the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Republic of Congo. As for the genetic heritage, the Bantu expansion resulted in about 400 distinct ethnic groups with Bantu origins dominating most of southern Africa. Some ethnic groups like the Pygmy, Hadza, and Khoisan do not have Bantu ancestry, indicating that they were remaining in isolation or separate from the Bantu migration. These non-Bantu groups have unique cultural and genetic characteristics that highlight the diversity within the African continent. And finally, here's the recap. The population of the Nok and Bantu increased in Western and Central Africa due to technological and agricultural innovations. By 1500 BCE, population pressures triggered the Bantu expansion, which lasted through 500 CE, encompassing the rest of southern Africa. The Bantu expansion led to the creation of 500 new languages and 400 new ethnic groups across Central and Southern Africa. This migration profoundly shaped the linguistic, cultural, and genetic landscape of the African continent. Thank you for watching. If you would like to watch the next lecture, click the thumbnail on the screen. And if you would like more resources to help you study, you can visit apushslides.com/afam. I wish you the best of luck with your studies, and I hope to see you back on the next lecture.